Hey, RetconRaider here, with special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Dragon Matrix 7, Mathew Smith, Revenant, Alois, Drakiith, ERV23, EgonAlter, Emile, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Nathan Welch Jr., RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. Ellie, hi, hello. How are you, baby? And welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. As today we catch up with the Wardrobe Council, see what's new with them. I wanted to hit this last time, but I'm not really sure what to expect from it, and I realized last moment that they might end up sending us to another dungeon location or something. So it seemed like a bad idea to do that when we were already over time. It was mostly the socks appearance and the unplanned stopover with the storyteller that put us over time. That said, today we've got plenty of time, so let's check this out, see what's going on with the council and what hijinks we're getting into today. I'd love to see some actual direction here, like what our ultimate goal as Trickster might actually be. Taking the lexicon from you, the members of the council begin to read. Judging from their expressions and exclamations, they are astounded. Finally, after studying the document carefully, they return it to you. This changes everything. Incredible. It appears that we can finally decide what to do about the world wound. Very, very interesting. Just think about the possibilities. We suspected there might be a version of reality in which this book would be here, and this would be written in it. But the discovery that we were actually in this reality is a pleasant surprise. Vex Godglove, what an amazing discovery! You really are our lucky charm. Thanks to you, we've finally found a solution. I think you mean I found the solution. I don't remember you guys doing anything to actually support me out there. But you are an official member of the council, so it is fair to say that the council, represented by one of its members, has found a solution. Yeah, sure. So, thoughts on what we actually found here? Click the info button if you can't actually read off the pages. That worked for me. It is very interesting. I have taken notes as necessary, and later I will have to compare them with something I saw in a certain book. Eritris taps the tip of her quill on her snow-white scroll. I don't suppose you'd be willing to share that book with me? The guy who just shared the Lexicon of Paradox? No? Highly interesting information indeed. The devil weighs a small black notebook in his hand. I didn't really understand any of it, but it's written in a very interesting way. The hippogriff scratches his beak thoughtfully with his claws. Oh, that is interesting. So wait, is that what the Trickster path is ultimately leading towards? Instead of closing the world wound. In theory, we would be opening a series of additional rifts to create like a nexus point of all the planes? Or is this just another fake out? If this is actually our goal, I could get behind that. Let's be honest here. Sargeras, as feel-good as it would be to actually close the world wound and free it and restore whatever's left of the Sarkorian kingdom, that was a predominantly human realm. So pretty much everyone who actually lived there is long dead at this point. The world wound opened over 100 years ago. But yeah, if the goal here is to ultimately create some sort of like interplanar embassy, or maybe even just an interplanar shopping mall, I feel like that would be a pretty good way to turn the whole world wound thing to pretty much everyone's favor. Plus, you know, it would be one step closer to actually becoming the border acquisitor of the Shapeless Abyss that is the dream. Maybe that's why we propped up this Fool King. I mean, we technically have the ultimate authority of Sargeras in our pocket, and I'm sure we could get him to rubber stamp this thing for us. So hey, I'm sure you guys have noticed this is only the first half of Arilu's lexicon. Can I actually count on your support in finding the rest of this thing? Of course. I've been with you mentally since the beginning, sending you my good thoughts and positive vibrations. Great. Anything more substantial? The Council will provide you with its full support. Although, of course, we must first decide on the type of support. Reasonable. Let's each of us formulate our proposals for the next meeting. We will discuss them all and vote. Then we will make our final decision on the amount of assistance we will give to the cause of the Crusade. Gosh, that almost feels like progress, and yet still nothing has actually been accomplished. Thanks. Hey, while we're on the subject of portals and portholes and whatnot, the World Wound is a pretty unique asset. Do we really need to close it? You know, now that we've got this book about how it works, or partially how it works anyway, what if we were to actually open even more portals, but link them to different planes and create like an interplanar subway system, or nexus, or bazaar of the bizarre? Ha 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 ha! Shaika laughs for so long their voice changes at least a dozen times. When they are finally done laughing, the eldest wipes away their tears. Brilliant! We like the way you think. That moment alone was worth all the endless debates we had to listen to here. I'm not sure if that's a good sign or not. A wormhole that connects the material plane not only with the Abyss, but also with Hell, Heaven, Elysium, the First World, and Axis? Oh. Helachino's mustache twitches furiously. I know who will like this very much, and who will not like it at all. If I play it right, this is my chance to become an Infernal Duke. Yes, mortal, I am in. Genius. Here it is, my chance to gather the representatives of all the planes and sit them at the negotiating table. I will finally be able to organize a universal debate that will put an end to strife and help us find the truth. The Hippogriff's eyes are sparkling. He obviously likes your idea, too. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm in. Cool. Thanks for being here, Chidali. So I take it everyone is in support of this? Socks? I'm not hearing anything from your side of the table. Let's vote. All those in favor? Eritris looks over the gestures of assent with pleasure and concludes. Passed unanimously. Fantastic. Okay, so we are actually getting things done now. I will say, though, it is very intriguing that Socks is suddenly so quiet. He's just kind of sitting back and going along with what we're doing. Normally, he's much more vocal. The fact that he's so quiet now does seem peculiar. Unless, of course, this is exactly what he's been working towards the whole time, and now he's just content to let it happen. Okay, so what's our next move? Does anyone actually know how to create a nexus of planes or crossroad of worlds? I'm more of an idea guy. It's hard to say at present. We need to study the information from the Lexicon of Paradox carefully. I think we have all the clues we need. We just have to understand them. This is only part of the book, isn't it? Arielu wrote extensively and took copious notes. Try to find some more of what she's written. Right, now he chimes in. A good point. And while you are looking, we will conduct our own research. Okay, sounds like a plan. Meeting adjourned, people. Let's get to work. My dear Vex Godglove, with all due respect, I don't recall appointing you chairperson. All right. Meeting adjourned. Get to work. Well said, Eritris, thank you. She is a prideful lioness. Our power grab clearly gave her pause, but there was no clause against it. The more I think about it, the more Sock's involvement here makes sense, because he's the one who brought us into the council. He knew where Arilu's lab was. He knew what the lexicon was. He was waiting for us there when we opened that portal back out, and told us to bring the lexicon to the council. And the storyteller's vision clearly indicated he was already investigating those crystals that were discovered in the Midnight Fane, his sister's realm. Given that there's a pretty well-known rivalry between Sox and Nocticula, he's clearly either working against her or trying to do something to one-up her. Actually, that could be it, because she does control one of the 5 gates of the World Wound. She has the Midnight Fane, the Midnight Gate. It was mentioned in the lexicon. So if Sox were to become like the official representative of the Abyss on the material plane, on this side of the World Wound, then that would, at the very least, put the two of them on equal footing, because each one would control one side of the gate. Anyway, let's get some rest real quick. Unless another event pops up, I think we're just about ready to hit the next mega dungeon, the Ivory Sanctum. We're actually getting towards the end of Act 3 at this point, I think. And definitely getting past the point most of my other campaigns have gotten. It is too bad you never tried to get your hands on the treasures of the Gwyrms, thief. Do I look like an idiot to you? Everybody knew about your house. It was infamous. You go into Gwyrm Manor, you don't come back out again. Gosh, I can't imagine why that might be. It is a mystery. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with the storeroom full of manacles and torture equipment. Oh, Cam, I do not miss having you in my party. Oh. Anevia. Commander, Anevia greets you with an energetic nod. My people have reported some shifty-looking characters hanging out in a cove not far from here. They invite passerby to go treasure hunting, promise them untold riches. Apparently there have been some folks who bought their tales and went with them. None have come back. Sounds like a place worth investigating. What do you reckon? This is the intro to the Treasures of the Midnight Isle, the in-campaign version. Untold treasures, you say? Please, go on. This is the place, the Murky Grotto. Anevia marks a spot on your map. There are 2 of them, a fat guy and a scrawny guy. Could be your everyday bandits, but what if they're cultists? Anyway, I'd go check it out just to be safe. Have there been any other similar reports? I mean, is this the first time this has happened, or... Nah, there's a whole heap of them. In this world wound of ours, cultists, spies, crooks, and lunatics are all over the place. I usually don't report this kind of stuff to you. I just deal with it myself. But those treasure hunters... My gut's telling me they're a special case. Something that only you can deal with. Right, right. Your mythic senses are tingling. All right, sounds very intriguing. I will certainly look into it. Nice. Yeah, that's the DLC quest. I can't say I'm a huge fan of the way it was actually executed. I did dabble with it a bit off screen, but we will at least touch on it. I don't know if we'll do the whole thing like on screen, but I would like to run through it, of course, and at least touch on the highlights. Anyway, no other events triggered, so I think we're clear to hit the Ivory Sanctum. I already took care of all our bookkeeping off screen, so I think we're actually ready to head out immediately. Let's do this. Multiple demon armies incoming. Oh wow, and the Murky Grotto is right here. Not too far out of Dresden, so we can definitely check that out once we're done with the Ivory Sanctum. Ah, right, and that's our new Mythic Brew project, which we can't actually start yet, but we will once we wrap up Royal Conscription. That'll be a bit, though. We've still got a couple of weeks on that one. Okay, let's do a little crusading before we head out. Agaboya's assassins are one day out from the Drakes. And Shy... you know what? Shy will just head right out there and knock out this army. Scary, scary. And suddenly, slightly less scary. Ah, you're fine. Suck it up. Hey, look at that. Swarms out. And we're good. Other armies en route too, so we should be able to hit them tomorrow. We've got recruits. I'll deal with that off screen. Oh, but we do have one other thing we have to do before we head out. Yeah, while I was editing the previous episode, I realized we have not built a Spellcaster's Lodge yet. I didn't even realize we had one available. So we'll get that going. We already have a spot open for it and everything. I didn't think we'd actually unlock that structure until we hit the 5th tier in military. That's when you get to choose which caster unit you want. But apparently you unlock the generic structure a bit earlier. Alright, and now we can officially get underway. First up, Heart of Mystery. I could cut this part out, but I figured I'd at least show you what the route is like. It's fairly efficient, all things considered. I mean, the loading screens are a bit much. I do wish we could just teleport straight from the location without actually having to pass through it. But in the grand scheme of things, it still saves a lot of time. Legacy of the Ancients. And we're here. I mean, still technically 8 hours out, but not too shabby. Though we do still have those drakes in our way. Oh, 7 hours. That's slightly better than I thought. There's our merch. Very nice. That's a slight bump to finances. And no other projects of that type. Oh, and let's have Agaboya's assassins knock out these drakes. We can flex our new mythic might. Is that a fart sound effect? Really? Oh, I guess we win. Cool. The reeking, blood-smeared lair of rift drakes is filled with bones, intermingled with treasures. These were not valuable for the monsters, but those fiends couldn't control their greed. Nice, nice. I mean, it's only really like 15,000 gold worth of finances or something to that effect, but we'll take it. And more importantly, that also clears the path for the main party, so we don't have to worry about a forced random encounter. Oh, and Shy. We had another army incoming. Yeah, let's go run those guys down. Let them flee. Okay, good. Yes, that does still give us XP. Yeah, I got some conflicting reports there, but it does appear that it definitely gives us XP because we just gained a level. And we've got to go with Zealous Student. An XP boost is already great, even before you work in that end-of-game refund. So there's really very little reason not to take it. Onward, my friends. we've still got buffs running? Huh. Ivory Sanctum. A pile of skulls in the middle of the scrubland is a sign that conceals the entrance to the secret hideout of Baphomet's worshippers. They have been hiding here for decades, planning assaults on the Crusaders, scheming and performing blasphemous rituals. A treasury filled with the secrets of the cultists, and perhaps their masters, can be found here. Neato torpedo. Let's give this place a gander. But before we head in, we should do a full set of fresh buffs. Y'all know the drill. We'll be right back. We are back and more powerful than ever. Let's see what there is to say. Well, right off the bat, I can see that we've got a nice refreshing blood rain. That's always a good sign. Not much to see so far. There's our entrance, I guess. I mean, I suppose that would be deliberate, right? Because they are trying to conceal the entrance. They wouldn't have anything else of note scattered around the entrance, since that would draw attention. Alright, let's go test out our skeleton key. There it is. Bone key. Which I'm still pretty certain is the same skull that was mentioned in that one museum article. The battle between the Vrox and... Was it Vrox? Vrox and the Silver Twins. Lariel and Targona. Above the Tower of Estrid. Nice. In we go. And here we stand. In a perfectly normal cave. D, could we get some lights up? Thank you, Darren. What? Demons? At this time of day, in this part of the world, entirely localized within this cave? Yes. Can I see them? No. That might be too risky. Hey, not bad. Gotta get Walja further down that two-weapon track. Oh no, it burns! Ah, it stings! Sure, yeah, just keep doing that. I'm sure it'll do something eventually.
Cover me, all right?
I will resist.
You're just burning your actions there, buddy.
Retreat is not an option.
Out of my sight!
Kneel before me.
Well, can't say much for the front guard, but I'm sure it'll get tougher once we're in this thing. A wall inlaid with a whimsical mosaic of bones from humans, animals, and some unknown creatures. I feel like you and I might have slightly different definitions for the word whimsical. Hey guys. Oh, hey, Coloxis in the corner. They're getting slightly tricksy. There's another guy right under him, too.
I will see to your demise.
Prepare yourself.
Oh, yeah, another caster.
This one's mine.
Ooh, Icy Prison. That's a good one. Nalfeshni down. Bye, I guess.
Precision!
Apparently we sent them to another plane of existence. And why are we not done? Ah, I see. There we go. Well, we may have banished those two from the physical plane, but at least they were kind enough to leave their possessions in an orderly pile. A chaotic conglomeration of confessions from the Baphomet cultists. I murdered a Crusader officer, assumed his appearance, and served in a Crusade army for 10 years. I infiltrated the Inquisitor squad of Canabris and selected the cultists that were to be burnt at the stake for half a year. Nobody knows how much of this is true. Yeah, that's not great. This tablet is inscribed with the names of those who have ruled over the Ivory Sanctum since its founding. You recognize the last two names, Jeribeth and Xanthir Vang. Oh, nice. Vang's here. That's the plagued one. We heard about him a couple of times. The long and glorious history of the Ivory Sanctum is described on this tablet. The Sanctum was built at the time of the Second Crusade, and has served as a stronghold of Baphomet's unstoppable forces ever since. I mean, unstoppable's a relative term. A chaotic conglomeration of confessions from the Baphomet cultists. I used to be a paladin of the Eagle Watch, but then I succumbed to the temptation, murdered 2 of my friends, and came here. I cooked for a crusade army for 5 years, poisoning at least 100 soldiers. Nobody knows how much of this is true. Yeah, I'm not going to feel bad about slaughtering these guys. It's nice to have some clear-cut bad guys every once in a while, you know?
Should we proceed?
Jeri. A familiar narrow shadow appears before you. The antenna of the creature's head quiver, its hands linked tightly together.
You have arrived, Commander,
Comes the high-pitched voice in your head.
You have discovered my castle in the clouds, although it is a far cry from what it once was.
Jeribeth's voice buzzes with irritation.
I have something you need, information and assistance. You can help me in return. Let's talk. As a gesture of my goodwill, I will even allow your companions to hear our conversation. See, I am eminently reasonable.
Sure, I don't see how this could possibly go wrong. What have you got for me?
This place, the Ivory Sanctum, used to be my own personal domain. But in recent times, I have been forced to share it with a horde of allies. There's one among them who will likely interest you. Xanthir the Plagued One.
Jeribeth's voice chitters with emotion. It drops to a heated whisper.
A swarm that walks. A mesmerizing creation. Who could have imagined that a mortal could be turned into something so extraordinary? He is behind many of the calamities that have befallen you. It is from his hand that myself and other demons have received our new abilities. Kill him and the lords will struggle to find his equal for a long time. I won't simply stand aside. I will help you as well. I'll tell you what I know, and ensure that my servants do not attack you here in the Sanctum.
So you just turn on your patrons, kill one of their lieutenants? Is there any particular reason I should buy that?
Because I am a demon.
You detect amusement in Jeribeth's voice.
Rules, laws, loyalty? Seek them in hell and heaven, anywhere but the abyss. I served Lord Baphomet for as long as it benefited me more than it cost me. I was the mistress here in my castle in the clouds. The entire territory was under my control. But then Minago, that arrogant fool, botched the attack on Canabras and the Wardstones. Our laboratory in Dresden was under threat, and Xanthir and his minions were quickly pulled out of the city.
Lab in Dresden? I don't think we saw that.
They offered up the Sanctum for his use and made him the ultimate authority here, over me. I was forced out of my private quarters, made to live on the margins within my own home, as a horde of demons from Discari's armies were herded in. With Xanthir playing commander and his servants ruining all my endeavors, there is nothing for me to do here. This place can fall for all I care. I will find a new patron in the abyss. That's why I'm telling you. Kill our common enemy. I will help you do it.
Wait, so Xanthir used to live in Dresden? The place that I now control?
Yes, close to Monago. Where did you think she got that pet Nabasu of hers?
Right, yeah, I guess Reg did mention that the Nabasu is unusual in some way. That does track. Okay, so if you're helping us get to Xanthir, then, where is he?
He's very close, in my former private quarters. There's only a wall separating us, but his lair is well protected, and you cannot access it from here. You have to make your way through the entire sanctum, crossing the bridge and the main guard post, which is headed by the cultist Zenedra. Coming back will be easier. There's a secret passage from Xanthir's lair into my rooms that can only be opened from the other side.
Zenedra? I think we've heard that name. Hang on a minute. Why does this Xanthir have a passageway into your chambers that only he can open? Actually, don't answer that. I already got the picture. Now I just need to find somebody who can wipe it from my memory so I can sleep tonight. I don't know, I feel like some people might be into that. Not me, of course. I'm just saying, there are all types out there, and who am I to judge?
I served Ascari myself once, but I changed masters because life among the Deskarites was just unbearably boring. Unlike followers of Baphomet, Ascari's minions have no appreciation for the finer pleasures. All they know is killing and ravaging. You saw one of them, Derazand, in the battle for Dresden. He is a vivid embodiment of everything I despise about my former comrades. Primitive and predictable butchers, the lot of them.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's chaotic evil for you. So, what else have you got for me? The more you tell me now, the easier it is for me to take down our shared enemy, quote unquote.
The information that you undoubtedly want more than anything. How the demons have started acquiring their new monstrous powers. It didn't start with Xanthir, and it won't end with him. But I will tell you what I know only if you fulfill your part of the deal.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. Hey, just out of morbid curiosity, what happened to Marhavok? I mean, is he still kicking around here somewhere?
I gave him the thing he wanted most. The chance to be with me forever. In a new form. One more convenient for me, and for him as well. If I ever wish to take him with me to the Abyss, for instance.
Oh, that does sound, lovely. Anyway, sure, yeah, I'm in. For now. Right up until your sudden but inevitable betrayal. But, you know, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. The demon tilts her head to the side.
That's good. Then listen. There are two factions in the Sanctum currently. The ones who came here with Xanthir do not answer to me. That group includes ordinary demons, mythic demons, and his loyal mortal mages. You will have to fight them. There's no getting around that. But then there are Baphomet's followers as well. I will give you my mark, so that my subjects will take you for one of our own. They have been dying to take on our unwelcome house guests for a long time. So, just tell them that their mistress says, do it.
The demon smiles wistfully.
My mark will also serve another purpose. If you defeat Xanthir, it will bind his swarm, and force it to fly directly into my net. I cannot allow such a unique creature to disappear entirely. I will preserve him. In some form.
You once again hear an undercurrent of amusement in Jeribeth's voice. Uh-huh. That's nice. The demon waves a delicate hand in your direction. You are instantly doused in a sweet-smelling wave. Then it passes.
There, the mark is in place. Go. and find me in my main chamber when it is all over.
Will do, Jeri. Will do. Yeah, she is absolutely going to betray us. I mean, she basically said it herself with her whole honor and loyalty mean nothing to a demon spiel. Kind of weird that she included that as part of her pitch to enter an alliance against a common foe. Though, based on her reaction, it's entirely possible she didn't think we'd accept in the first place. Fortunately for her, or unfortunately, depending on how things go, we are Vex Godglove, and we are not beholden to the Crusade's standard rules of operation, so we'll give this thing a shot. I mean, if it works out, who knows? Maybe we'll have another demon ally. Certainly wouldn't be the first one. That said, we are past time, so this feels like a good place to call it. We'll hit the pause button for now. I will make sure we are prepped and ready to go as we delve ever deeper into the Sanctum, and we will pick up here next time. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official websites. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon, the YouTube memberships, or the Nexus GG page. Links are in the description.